Hello everybody, this is Stephen Howson, this is Full Time Devils and this is tomorrow's transfers today. A look at all the news that's breaking tonight ahead of tomorrow so you can find out what's going on nice and early and not really have to bother reading any of the nonsense that's going to be coming out in the press tomorrow. Now obviously, I know there's a lot of you want to talk about Matic and how he fits into the team and all that lot, but we've already recorded a Matic video today and this is tomorrow's transfers today. Matic was today's transfer, so we don't need to talk about Matic today. So if you want to watch the Matic video, go and check that out after you've watched this. We have got some top bullshit to go through today, talking about transfers yet to happen. So I'm going to get into those first and foremost. And the first one, straight off the bat, we're coming in strong today with some unbelievable bollocks from the Sun. So the Sun have used the following headline. Now, there's just lies right the way through this, and the guy has put his name on it. I'm shocked that someone's put the name to this, to be completely honest with you. Watford to beat United and Chelsea to the signing of Brazilian wonder kid Richarlison. Okay, let's go through that step by step. Watford beat United and Chelsea. Watford. That famous Watford have beat United and Chelsea to signing someone. Was United and Chelsea ever interested in him? Anyway, I'm sure you're going, Steve, tell us more about this wonder kid. What is he, 16, 17? Absolutely tearing it up in Brazil. I'll tell you exactly all about this guy. He's 20. He can vote. Like, this isn't a wonder kid no more. Okay, he must have amazing stats though, right? No! He scored 15 goals in 60-odd appearances in the first team. For a striker. Wonder kid? More like Wonder Bread. Are you mental? Wonder kid. 20 years of age, who's not ripping it up in Brazil. Brazil, not exactly famous for its nil-nils in Brazil, is it? You're talking high-scoring games. If this kid's only scoring 15 in 60-plus appearances in Brazil, what's he going to score in the Premier League? None? That many? So Watford have beat United and Chelsea to the signing of wonder kid who's not a wonder kid, who's not even a kid. Was we even in for him? I highly doubt it. But anyway, Richarlison supposedly is someone that's coming through. And then they're saying that Watford might have to loan him out because he's not even going to get a work permit. So he's not even going to qualify for being an exceptional talent, which is the very definition of what a wonder kid is. Son, you've had an absolute nightmare here. He is not a wonder kid. United probably wasn't in for him. Forget about this one. Get out of here. So we can instantly dismiss that one as not happening. He might go to Watford, but he's not a wonder kid. Whatever. Right, Serge Aurier. Now, according to the Express, Tottenham are favourites for him. And why are Tottenham favourites for him? Well, because the Express have decided to go off the odds. Not thinking that the odds makers might actually want to make money off someone betting on something that may or may not happen. So perhaps that they've gone and said, maybe we think we can link him to Tottenham and then maybe we'll make some money on the bets. Because if it looks like he's just going to United and everyone's reporting about it going to United and we have odds that looks like he's going to United, no one's going to bet on that. But if for some bizarre reason that we make him the favourites, maybe some people will start putting some money on him and then we can make some money because that's what betting companies exist to do. Since when do you start taking... When do journalists actually take their work from what betting markets are doing? The betting markets should be moved on the basis that betting companies want to make money, not because of what's actually happening. That's not how betting works. Betting works on the betting companies taking the maximum amount of money for the least amount of risk. So of course they manipulate the prices to try and manipulate public opinion. That's the major nose that people have with the likes of Sky Bet that are linked with Sky Sports. Sky Sports report something's happening, Sky Bet change their odds and people's opinion of things change. It's absolutely nonsense. You can't write an article on the back of what the odds are doing because the odds are completely made up. They're not based in fact. They're based on what the bookies are going to make money off. Nonsense article. Get it in the bin. That's 2 for 2 so far. Are we going to be on 3 for 3? We're probably not going to be on 3 for 3. Sancho is the one we're going to talk about next. But what we are going to talk about here is the famous Manchester City Academy. You remember all those reports coming out a couple of weeks ago, a couple of years ago, over the last 18 months or so? For starters, it was incorrect in what people were saying. They were saying the likes of Darren Fletcher, Robin van Persie have chosen to send their children to Manchester City. Now, that's the key word that really gets my goat. That they have chosen to send their kids to Manchester City. It's not how academies work. Academies are invitation only. So it's not like a Saturday league where you go up and you pay your £5 a week in subs and then you can just play for City's academy. That's not how it worked. Manchester City are definitely small-time enough and bitter and twisted enough that they would literally sign the player on the back of who their dad was. I like the fact that Phil Neville's kids were not at United. I like the fact that Manchester United players' kids don't automatically just get taken into the Manchester United academy because their dad's good. It's a complete meritocracy. I don't care if there's a player at Manchester United or not. If they're good enough, I'm sure they're going to get first option. Why else would they go to Manchester City? If they're being recruited by Manchester City, then sound. But Manchester City, and I know this from experience, recruit hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of boys at every single age group right away through Manchester. They've got this massive catch-all system to try and weed through the ones that they've got. And they've got dozens of satellite centres all around Manchester. So the fact that someone's kids playing in the academy, it means nothing. But that's not the point we're talking about. We're talking about this golden generation, Manchester City, that was bringing through the likes of Brahim Diaz, Jadon Sancho and Phil Foden. These are the players that was going to rival the class of 92. Now, the probable jewel in that crown is Jadon Sancho. He's an unbelievable footballer. I'm on record as saying that he might even be better than Angel Gomez, and you all know my thoughts on Angel Gomez, a potential Ballon d'Or winner. Gomez and Sancho play in the same England side where Angel is captain, and they are an absolute nightmare together. There's a reason that England team is absolutely walloping every single team that it comes up against. Embarrassing teams. Jadon Sancho is looking for an exit at Manchester City because he no longer sees a pathway to the first team with all the talent that Pep Guardiola is buying. Oh, the irony. There's got to be some serious amount of deleting of reports and articles that people wrote all about when Pep Guardiola was coming to Manchester City and he was going to take charge and bring these academy lads through, do what he did at Barcelona, which essentially wasn't really him doing it. It was laid by the likes of Louis van Gaal and Johan Cruyff before him. So Jadon Sancho's looking to leave, and we've had a lot of people saying to us, is he coming to Manchester United? The answer is I don't know. I would be gutted if United didn't put a bid in for him because he's that good that it's got to be worth asking. There's also talk that he might be homesick, and that's one of the reasons why you're seeing Tottenham and Arsenal link with him. But there's also a link with Dortmund and RB Leipzig. And I think if he went to Germany, he would be an instant first choice player. I think if he went to Arsenal, there's a very good chance he would be an instant first choice player. He wouldn't be at Manchester United, but he would be very close. He's absolutely mint. So I do hope he leaves City, because I think if he leaves City, that represents everything that we've said about Manchester City's overhyped academy that isn't producing anything. It doesn't matter what your results are at under-12s, which Manchester City leaked to the likes of the MEN. It doesn't matter that your under-14s won some tournament. No one cares, mate. What matters, what the sole purpose of an academy is there to exist to do, is to produce players for the first team. So what does it matter if you're beating our under-14s 9-0? What does it matter when we're producing, year on year, first team talent from our academy organically? And the jewel in Manchester City's crown doesn't feel like he's got the confidence in his own ability, and he's absolutely mint. He's potential Ballon d'Or level. He's brilliant. And if he doesn't think he's getting first team at your academy, then your academy is an absolute disgrace. And I hope that he does leave to really highlight that, because some City fans are absolutely deluded on where their academy stands and what it represents and what it's there to do, and on what their manager stands for. Which is massively hilarious considering they said we should close our academy since Jose Mourinho was coming in. And finally, we've got another one, which is it's quite funny actually, which is Chelsea are interested in signing Danny Drinkwater from Leicester as a replacement to Matic. Now, who's signing who's rejects, Chelsea fans? I've got no opinion on that whatsoever. Danny Drinkwater from Leicester to Chelsea, it's a good move for him, I guess. Getting back playing Champions League football. But I find that quite funny. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. Always preaching that truth. Yes, mate, that's what I'm here for. We are about to win the league this season, says Adam. I really hope so, my mate. We need to poach all those young players. We don't need to poach them. If Jadon Sancho wants to come to Manchester United, we'll welcome him with open arms. But you know what? We've got some unbelievable players in our academy as well. Aurier called his last manager something that's been bleeped out and assaulted members of the police. We shouldn't want him anywhere near our club. I don't know anything about the legal issues that's going on with Aurier. Neymar has landed in China to complete his medical for PSG. Wow, if that goes through, that is insane, isn't it? Can we just take a moment to just realise if that's going to go through for £250 million, woo, the world has gone absolutely mad. Who did Jadon nick Sancho for? They nicked him from Watford, so he's not like he's been someone that's come from there at under sixes. I think he was 16 when he moved, or 15 when he moved. Sancho and Gomez is ridiculous, absolutely. Defensive reinforcements, I'm not sure. I'm not even sure why we're in for Aurier, to be honest, because I thought we was pretty set at right back, and it felt like left back was the issue for us, in all honesty. We got 1,500 in. Thank you, everybody, for coming joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed the live streams that we do at 11 o'clock every single night. And we do appreciate every single one of you coming and joining in, and your opinion as well. It's not just about us talking at you, it's about talking to you. 220 million bleeping out, yep, madness. What about Sanchez? I think Sanchez is one of the reasons that Sancho is possibly leaving, because I think if he comes in, they're very similar type of player where you could play one, up front, not really as a main striker out and out, but you could certainly play him up front. What I'll say is about Sancho, I'm not really sure how to put this into words correctly, but when you watch a player like Sancho, when you watch a player like Gomez, you're purring about him. You're like, this is a kid that can do anything he wants in the game. His vision is massively underrated. Super intelligent footballer. Scholes level, like, knows where everybody is all around the pitch. Can put the ball into the hand if he wanted to. Unbelievable player. But with Sancho, it's different. With Sancho, there's this danger, and it's an excitement about him. Gomez scores goals, but he's not a quick player. He's a really intelligent player. Sancho's like this lethal dead-eye hitman. Sancho picks the ball up and you kind of hold your breath and go, what's going to happen here? Like, and the two of them together, one spotting the other's runs, because they are friends. Sancho actually came and sat in front of us at the Under-18s Youth Cup game this season, where United was knocked out in the first round against Southampton, just to come and support his mate, Angel. Sancho and Angel are very good friends off the pitch, which I think is mad to see, because there should be no issue with a United player and a City player being friends like that. George Best and Mike Summerby were friends, best men for each other at weddings. And I think it's good to have that sort of connection. As fans, obviously, it's maybe a bit weird, but I think you could have that. Now, obviously, it'd be better if there was teammates at United. It'd be fantastic. Could Sancho be the first winger from City's academy since Giggs that we signed from them? If he makes the first team, potentially, yeah. But there's actually a lot of movement between United and City and United in the younger ages. There was a false report in the MEN, and they're known for the false reports anyway, aren't they, really? Let's face it. About Yeboah Amenkwa, I'm not sure how you say it. It's a centre-half that left United to go to City. In the MEN, it said he went for... There was offered more money at City, but there wasn't offered more money. He's a United fan. He went because he thought he would get better first-team options with Mourinho coming in. That was a gamble he took. Now, he probably thinks it's wrong on that one, but, MEN being wrong again. Do I rate Aurier more than Klein or Danilo? I don't know, to be honest. Fosu Mensah will be scary good next season. Could be Chung, Gomez, Sancho. Oof. I tell you what, that is going to be unbelievable. As a youth forward three, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Next time he comes to a United match, tap him up. Next time I see Angel, I'm going to be asking him, like, what's the crack on it? What do I think of Antonio Valencia as captain? I think he portrays all of the traits that you would want as a captain. I just worry about how poor his English is, man. It's a joke that he's been here as long as he's been and he can't speak English. Do I want Zlatan back? Yeah, I think Zlatan coming back in around Christmas could be a real boost for us. Alexis Sanchez. We were talking about Alexis Sanchez, wasn't it? Alexis Sanchez, if United signed him, with what we've already got, I'm going to lump everything on United winning the league. However, I don't think we're going to sign him. I'm pretty sure he's going to go to City. He's a phenomenal player. Arsenal will resist it as much as they want, but they always sell. They always crumble. So I think it's an interesting one. I don't think we're going to see Sanchez in a red shirt the thought of it, I don't even want to get carried away about it, because the thought of him in a United shirt is unbelievable. He's such a good player. Such a good player. I hope we're in for Sanchez or Bale. I think a marquee window. I think both of those improve the team, and I think both of those match all the things that Woodward is looking for. Someone in the comments, stop talking about my hair. Of course I'm getting a fresh trim. I get my hair cut every other week. It's busy at the minute, isn't it? That's how it goes down. I'm getting one this week. Don't worry about it. Does Neymar breaking the record take the pressure off Pogba? Possibly. Pogba could be the third by the end of the window, couldn't he? If Mbappe goes to Madrid for 161 million, nearly twice as much as what Pogba went for, and more than twice as much as what Lukaku went for a guy that's had, like, what, 6-7 good months? Now, he might have all the potential in the world, but that's unbelievable. Opinion of Jose playing Luke Shaw in a 3-5-2. I just need to see Luke Shaw back getting games, because I think you've got to be patient with him. You give him 90 minutes regular over, I think it's going to take 10 weeks, you know. Get 10 weeks under Luke Shaw, consistent, and I think Luke Shaw goes back close to what he was. It'd be mint. Full-time Devils account just put hashtag commercial seal. Not sure what that's in relation to. Sanchez will make City favourites by a mile, says Kathy Collins. Do you know what, though? I think he makes United favourites, but I don't think he makes City favourites, because I don't think he massively improves what City have got. What Manchester United struggled on last season was scoring goals. What Manchester City didn't struggle on last season was scoring goals. So you're not going to add X number of extra goals just by signing Sanchez at City, where you're already totally stacked in those positions. He might add 1 or 2 more goals to what that team was already going to get. At United, he might add an extra 10 goals, which is going to tangibly affect what we do in a season. What City needed to be doing was to be signing a Sanchez-level player at centre-half. If they did that, if they brought in, let's say City brought in Bonucci, and let's say City brought in Matic even, Fabinho, somebody of that level of a defensive midfielder, Vidal. If they brought somebody in like that, I would be going, oh my days. City had 3 problems, as far as I'm concerned, watching from an outsider. City had 3 problems. Problem number 1 was the goalkeeper. He was unbelievably gash. They've addressed it. Now, he might not be perfect, he might still be a problem, but at least they've addressed it. Problem number 2 is their centre-halves. John Stones is shite, and Company is absolutely mint, but Company will not last the entire season. Problem number 3 is Pep's reluctance to have a plan B. Pep's reluctance to have a different system that they can go to. Pep, in that sense, is very much like Van Gaal, where he's far too married to the system for his own good. And I think that you've got to have several ways of playing in the Premier League, and that's why I think Jose Mourinho will outlast him big time. They've addressed one of those issues, and it might not be perfect, but they've addressed it. The other 2 issues remain. They didn't... Look, Manchester City didn't struggle scoring goals or creating chances last season, so they can sign all the attacking players in the world. It's not going to massively improve what they do. Their problem was having a plan B and shutting teams out when they needed to. They couldn't do that. They couldn't do that. If they address that, then yes, I would be worried. Until they address that, I'm not really that worried. If they sign Sanchez, yeah, it's incredible. They might be in for some Kevin Keegan-style 4-3s every single week there at the Council House. But until that happens, not really bothered about them. I'm honestly not. I think United have got far more balance in a squad, a better manager tactically, and I think we go further in every single competition than Manchester City. Every single competition. I really do. Someone's talking about the Tinder sleeve sponsor. I believe it's from next season. We're going to have Tinder on the sleeves. I mean, it's madness that we're able to bring in sponsorships like that. I mean, some people can't bring in sponsorships for the shirt that are 12 million a season. We're bringing it for the tiny little corner. Unbelievable. If Pep doesn't have a plan B, he can't be that good. Well, the thing is, his plan A at likes of Barcelona was plenty good enough, wasn't it? And the players around him was absolutely fantastic. He went to Bayern Munich and didn't really take them forward. He changed their style of play, but it didn't take them forward anywhere, really. So you can't really call that a success. And I think a lot of Bayern fans have got a really poor opinion of him. And then what he's done at Manchester City, has he done better than what Pellegrini did? Not really. He hasn't. Pellegrini won a title, won the League Cup. Pellegrini also went for a crazy run at the start of the season, the way he did. And this was with all the money that Pep had spent as well on top of that. You know, madness. Pep versus Mourinho finally, or does the league belong to someone else? I actually think it will be United and City first and second, but that's not because I think they've took a massive stride forward. I think everybody else is going to struggle. I think everybody else is going to struggle with the demands of, especially in the top four. The other two teams inside the top four that I think are going to struggle, Chelsea and Liverpool, the introduction of European football when they've not took strides forward at all. Liverpool needed depth. They needed some better players in the starting 11, but they also needed depth. And at the moment, they've not got that. So Liverpool, for me, are not as strong as they was last season. Chelsea have signed Morata. We have no idea if he's going to be a success or not, but I don't think he's good enough to just instantly replace what they had in Costa. They're going to have to adapt their style of play. Hazard's out at the moment. There's a lot of question marks on what's going to go on with Chelsea. Conte seems like the angriest man in the world. He doesn't seem like he's going to be kicking around. So I feel that they're going to struggle with the introduction of European football again. Spurs, they haven't signed anybody. They haven't lost anybody, but they haven't signed anybody. They might be introducing players from their academy, but they haven't signed anyone. And they've also got to deal with moving to Wembley. Wembley could have a knock-on effect for transfers, and the new stadium could have a knock-on effect for transfers. Spurs could be worse than last season. Spurs might have peaked. United are going to be better. United was creating tons of chances. United statistically was one of the best teams in the league. We was hovering around first, second or third for all of the different stats that are out there. The one that really let us down was our conversion rate. We was like 17th or 18th in the league on conversion rate. And it was only through the fact that we was creating so many chances that we managed to finish where we finished. So if we just improve that one metric of finishing, which is what Lukaku's there to do, which is what we're hoping Pogba's going to do next season, Rashford, Mkhitaryan, Marshall, all these guys are going to have to chip in with goals as well. If all of them chip in with goals next season, United finish better. It's as simple as that. United finished better. Yes, they did sell Walker. Of course they did, yeah. But Trippier was there to replace him, so they've not lost anybody, really. They're still on an even footing, I think. So I think United have took the closest to a step forward. I still don't think we're complete. I still think there's issues that we can address. Doesn't always happen in one transfer window. Pretty happy with our business so far. Definitely addressed what we needed in terms of a defensive midfielder. I think we've replaced Zlatan, but we've not just replaced Zlatan. I think that with Lukaku, you see an evolution of United's play. United couldn't counter-attack with Zlatan in the team as the focal point because Zlatan was too slow. And Zlatan would often be the guy that was putting those balls in, and he'd often drift out wide and be the guy with the ball at his feet, and you're like, now what are you going to do? You're the guy that's meant to get on the end of these, son. Lukaku's going to improve Manchester United's counter-attacking ability, and that's going to improve our conversion rate, and that's going to improve our number of goals. United are going to be a bang at it. Someone just said first manager to be sacked will be Koeman. Someone else said Mark Hughes. Do you know what? I think Rafa Benitez could be. Because I just think Mike Ashley just got a real love of cocking it up for Newcastle. And I don't think they're not gonna sign anyone. And Benitez is gonna flip out. They're gonna have a poor start to the season. Someone's gonna get injured. And then job's over. He'll be walking. Who from our first team would I compare Sancho to? Nobody. No one. There's no one like him in our first team. Maybe when he's on his prime, a little bit like Marshall, where he comes in on his own from that left-hand side. But yeah, no way. Not having that one. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us. We had 1,700 in here. That's absolutely banging. You lot are all legends. We'll be back tomorrow. Guest with Adam. For tomorrow's transfers today. All sorts of stuff coming out. I'm over in Dublin, not with Full Time Devils, just on the piss, enjoying the game. So if you're over in Dublin for the game, come and say hello. And we are this close to the new season starting. We've got Real Madrid next week, and then the Premier League is back. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Like I said, appreciate everyone coming on. Give us the likes, give us the subscribes if you're brand new around here, and we'll see you tomorrow. Laters.